So, every day you're doing this, food appeared on your plate, you said, this is my food, you ate it and then you say, it's me. This is madness. But you have enormous company. And we believe in democracy. Whatever the majority says must be right. So, it is going on. But the moment you believe something that is not you as yourself, you kind of lost it. You derailed from life. So, turning inward does not mean dissection. Turning inward does not mean contemplation, because the content of your body and the content of your mind is an accumulated substance, isn't it? You gathered it from outside. What you gather from outside can be yours, but can never ever be you. So, we're talking about inner engineering, not as twisting and turning the body, not about taking on new attitudes of love or generosity, compassion, whatever great values and emotions that a human being can have. I see all that as a consequence of a certain way of being, rather than looking at it as a means to get somewhere. Everywhere people are talking about whatever… See, if you deprive somebody of something for a period of time, simple qualities will raise to heaven. Today, anywhere you go, people are talking peace of mind is the ultimate goal of human life. Why? Because they've freaked out in their minds. Why would peace be the highest goal? Because you're talking about Judeo-Christian thing, the origin of where it came from. I happened to be in Tel Aviv. I was to get there that morning and speak at 6:30 in the evening. I was flying in from Atlanta. Because of some delays in the flights, I landed there at 6 in the evening. So I'm quickly changing in the airport, because in these 35 years I have not been late to a single appointment. I don't want to break that, so I'm rushing. And I'm famished, because I'm traveling an American airline and there's nothing edible on the plane. I'm super hungry and I rush to the venue. And to my joy, I find the talk is in a fine restaurant. Life can't get better. So as I went in, people are greeting me and one man comes up and says, "Shalom." I ask him, "What does it mean?" He says, "This is the highest way of greeting." I said, "Well, that's your opinion, but what does it mean?" He said, "No, this is the highest way of greeting." I said, "That's all right, but what does the word mean?" He said, "It means peace." I said, "Why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East?" In South India, you come up to me in the morning and say, "Peace." I'll say, "What's wrong with you?"
I'd like to get back to the practice of medicine, just for a question, really. I tell my gang, whom I adore, my residents, my students are close to my heart. I adore them.
All gangs are like that.
And I say, medicine is easy. Medicine is easy, but healing is hard. Because in medicine, we have our potions, and if we don't know an answer, we do a test, and if we don't know what the test means, we consult somebody, and so medicine, in some ways we can distill it down, can make it easy, but healing is really where the art of medicine lies, and healing is where the spirit and the love and the suffering and the treatments and the surgery, that's where it all comes together. How would you propose that we adopt a healing attitude? How do we bring the spirit of healing into the experience of the bedside?
Please, all of you, don't be offended by what I say, but you must look at this properly. If I don't, but if at any time, if it becomes necessary, I must go to a hospital, I just want efficient treatment. I don't want love. Because I'm not deprived like that. Now unfortunately we are creating a population where everywhere people are talking about love. We are deprived like this because early age deprivation of love will tell right through your life. It is very important, we need to understand that there is something more to this life than the acquired body. We have a body which we acquired, there's something more. There is a whole tradition in India, unfortunately it's rapidly vanishing because of variety of changes that are happening in the society. Otherwise, how a mother should deal with the child till the child is 4.5 years of age. In the vernacular languages, it says that she should wrap herself around the child in every possible way, not because the food that you give the child, the milk that you give the child is not the only nourishment. The child needs to be wrapped with motherhood. Then only this child will grow as a full-fledged child, otherwise it will grow as a deprived child. But modern societies, we are going to a place which is almost impossible to deliver this. It's simply not possible in the way we have structured our families, it's simply not possible to do that. So, having said that, when people come to a hospital, they should just look forward to efficient treatment. Now we're looking for love, we should have found it somewhere else, at least we should have bought a dog if you couldn't find anybody. Dog is… if you get yourself a dog, 12 years guaranteed love affair. Guaranteed. Doesn't matter how badly behaved you are, still it's guaranteed. It'll not work with any human being. There's a whole lot of management to do with human beings. If you get a dog, however badly behaved you are a drunk, you behave badly, you beat him, do what you do, but the dog still loves you, guaranteed love affair. So, those of you who are looking for love wherever you go, dog is a good solution. When you go to a hospital, you don't expect your doctor to love you, just do what he has to do.
So that is fascinating because I think patients come to their doctor.
This is the unfortunate reality, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
People come to a hospital and looking for love. Wrong place.
So when I was a medical student, I was the pastor of a church here in town. And I would write my sermons on hospital note paper. This was before EMRs. So I'm writing my sermon at the nurse's station. And my attending physician came up to me and he said, "Doolittle, the physicians are the priests of today." And I said, "What? What do you mean? That's offensive." I wasn't sure. Was he joking? Was he serious? And he was serious in the sense that people come to their doctor and they have pain. And maybe it's back pain, maybe it's pain in their heart, and I think people come to their physician and they look for absolution, acceptance, forgiveness. They look to feel well again. And perhaps the critique of modern medicine is that we are trained to give a pill. But people want more, and it's interesting that you bring this up, that in modern medicine, the expectation should be efficient care, safe care. And that's what we're trying to do too. But I do think
there is a healing.
It's a world that maybe the world is becoming more secular, and they don't know where to turn, and so people look to their healthcare provider for all of it. What do you think?
Say, it's not about being secular or non-secular. A whole lot of human beings are feeling lonely.
Yes.
Right from their childhood, they have suffered loneliness. For a variety of reasons, changes have happened in family structure, changes have happened in the social structure, the communities of the past have broken, so there is a certain loneliness. where even if they go to their car mechanic, they want to be loud. You must go to your physician just the way you went to your car mechanic, somebody who knows how to fix the car. That's important. Whether he loves you or not is not your business. But when you talk about healing, there's another dimension. We're preparing people like this. I'm bringing up hundreds of people where we have identified in the yogic culture, in the yogic science, the fundamental life energy manifests itself in 5 different ways, 5 fundamental ways. These 5, out of these 5, this is called as pranavayu, samanavayu, apana, udhana and vyana. In this, there is one dimension called samanavayu, which is very healing. So, before we introduce any kind of medical knowledge to a person, we put them on very serious inner work to generate a certain level of samanavayu, where a physician develops such a level of vitality, if he walks into the room, everything should light up. This is very important. Physicians are walking into the patient's room with a grave face. Grave is one thing that you should not point at when somebody is sick. Grave is one thing that you don't show a patient. A physician should generate such a level of vitality and life and healthfulness about themselves, anything they touch will get better naturally, not because of love, not because of compassion. People, yesterday I was being interviewed by a young lady and she said, Sadhguru, we must… everything should happen out of compassion. I asked her, are you married? She said, yes, my husband is waiting in the reception. I said, suppose when you go there after this interview, you realize that your husband married you on a compassionate basis. Would you like it? She said, no. Then why do you want it for me? I don't need it too.
So, can I ask you, so for the Isha Foundation, with the thousands of full-time volunteers and the millions of part-time volunteers, why do you think they come?
Tools of transformation. The tools are subjective in nature. See, right now, we as human beings are dominating this world only because of our ability to use tools. Otherwise, a pack of dogs would take care of you. Forget about the tigers and the lions, poor tigers and poor lions who need to be saved right now. Only because of our ability to use tools, isn't it? And all the tools that we developed are… Now, as a doctor, maybe you're using a microscope. We have a microscope only because our ability to see, to enhance that we have a scope. We have a telescope only to enhance our vision in some other way. We have a telephone because we can hear. We have a microphone because we can speak. We have a bicycle because we can walk. If we were made like trees, would we have invented a bicycle? I'm asking. Every tool that we created is only to enhance the already existing faculties to a higher level, isn't it? Everything. Everything that we invented is just this, all the tools. The tools are very important. When I refer to the spiritual dimension as tools, some of our people will feel offended around me and say, Sadhguru, don't say it, it is more than our life. Don't use the word tool. Then I tell them, you come to the yoga center, 3 days I will give you plumbing job. No spanner, no winch, no nothing. You do it with your hands. You can use your teeth. You will see all your 10 nails will be gone, then a few teeth will be gone after 3 days, then you come to me, I will give you a spanner. Will you worship the spanner or no? I'm asking you. Will you worship the spanner or no? It is the tools. Similarly, to turn inward, to extend dimensions which every one of you have known peace in your life at some moment? Hello? You must tell me yes or no. You have known joy in your life? You have known bliss in your life? You have known ecstasy in your life? Love in your life? You are capable of all these things. Only thing is, it's not sustainable. One moment there, one moment here, one moment there, one moment here. This is the only problem, isn't it? Suppose I gave you a tool, subjective tool, with which you can remain blissful every moment of your life. Is it of great value to you, I'm asking? So, these millions of people, they have tasted the tools of transformation. One thing I have done to them is, I have confused the hell out of them.
So what is that tool of transformation? How would you describe
This is the first tool. First thing is, you must get confused. Yes, because you're talking about anchoring, that's why I'm saying this. Confusion means you realize that you do not know, isn't it? I'm asking, with all this exploration of science, do we know even one single atom in its entirety? Hello? Do we? No. Then what's our problem in saying we don't know? I do not know is an immense possibility. Now you're trying to destroy I do not know with all kinds of beliefs. Why don't you say I do not know? If you truly realize I do not know, your intelligence will be in an active and super alert state every moment of your life. The moment you believe, it sleeps. It lets you sleep. But people are not willing to go through this. They want something. Tell them something, they want to believe and say, I'm fine, I want to sleep tonight. No, I do not know. If you see I do not know, the longing to know, the wanting to know, the seeking to know will happen to you. Everything that you do not know, you just believe because somebody said so. Even if it is true, right now I'm going to tell you what is the truth, but it's not in your experience. So what is the options that you have? You can believe me or you can disbelieve me, isn't it? If you believe me, you will not get any closer to truth. If you disbelieve me, you will not get any closer to truth. It is just that if you believe me, you will have a positive story to tell. If you disbelieve me, you will have a negative story to tell, but you will not move an inch existentially. Psychologically, it will give you comfort. So this is something you must decide. Are you looking for solace or are you looking for a solution? If you're looking for solution, then you need tools to turn inward. If you're looking for solace, believe something.
So if the first step is, I don't know, what do you do then? What happens after that?
So this happened to me when I was just 4.5 years of age. Suddenly one day I realized I don't know a thing. I was only about 4.5 years of age. If somebody gave me a glass of water, I would just sit like this for 3-4 hours at a stretch, because I wouldn't know what is water. I'm telling you, even today you don't know what is water. It is the only substance which is in all the 3 states on the planet. 2/3 of your body is water, 2/3 of the planet is water, but you don't know what it is. We know how to use it, but we don't know what it is. Isn't it so? We know how to use this water in so many ways, but we do not know what it really is, because we do not know what really anything is for that matter. So if I found a leaf, I would simply sit like this for 6-7 hours. If I sat up in the bed, entire night I would be staring at the darkness. My dear father, who's a physician, started thinking I need psychiatric evaluation. He started saying, this boy has lost it. He's just staring at something all the time. My problem is, I look at this and I don't know this. I'm not able to shift my attention to that. I'm just looking here still. He thought he could educate me. He tried. So there is a rule, strict rule in the house. Between 7 in the evening till 9 dinner time, you, all the children, 4 of us siblings, we have to sit and read some textbook. I open my textbook like this. I find a little speck on the paper. I just look at the paper. This speck keeps me engaged for 2 hours. I sit like this, absolutely total attention, without reading a word. I went through school like this. I was very consistent. I always got 6 zeros in every test.
So if it's not shalom or compassion or love,
it is just life.
it's just what would you, is
It's
that what
just
you say
life.
The meaning of the
No,
meaning,
no.
your purpose of life is life. What would you say?
The purpose of life is life itself.
Yeah.
Life itself is a large enough phenomena, it doesn't need another meaning. Only because human beings have not experienced life. They are just a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, opinions, identities and prejudices. Because of this, they are looking for a meaning because their psychological scape has overshadowed the existential life that they are. Right now, all that they're experiencing is a minimalistic mind, not life. If you look at life, what is the nature of life? As you sit here, we are breathing, for sure. Hello? Those who are not will need medical attention. We're breathing. Breathing means, in some way, this life is in communication with the entire atmosphere. In fact, this green, Project Green Hands of planting trees, the entire movement was instigated like this by me. I took a bunch of people, about 3,000 to 4,000 people came, I said, all of you should come. They came, I arranged a meeting in a village. There was a big tree, a rain tree, 3, 4 trees were there, large trees. But I arranged the meeting around 11 o'clock in the hot sun in southern India. So I stood there and I am speaking to them. They're all sitting like this. Slowly, as the sun gets hotter, they're just wilting away, and I'm speaking and speaking something, telling them stories. And I'm watching how they're just wilting away. See, walking in the sun is one thing, if you simply sit there, it'll just burn you down. They're just thinking, what's happened to Sadhguru? He's become like this, heartless. Yes. Then, after about an hour and a half, when they're really going down, then I say, get up all of you. And then I walk them under the shade of the tree. You know what a tree is only if you sit in the sun, in hot sun, for an hour and a half too, then walk under the tree, it feels like paradise. They all, I made them sit down and said, see, what you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What the trees exhale, you are inhaling. Look at this, one part of your lung is hanging out there. And I created a process with which they could experience this. They just sat there like this with tears in their eyes. And that is it, Project Green Hands, 27 million trees they've planted.
Yeah,
now
nice.
You can't stop them.
Yeah, very nice.
They're planting and planting because now they see it's a part of them. Is it not true that you exist here as a part of everything else? It is just that it's a privilege. Though you are a speck in the universe, less than a speck, still we are given an intellect, we have given senses of perception, we can experience this like an individual. But in reality, if you observe yourself, you cannot exist by yourself even for a nanosecond, isn't it? The entire universe is supporting you. So the only way life can happen is an inclusive way. So yoga means just this, the word yoga means union. Union means the boundaries of what is inward and outward, you took it away. There is no such thing as you and the other. If you sit here, we can do an experiment actually, I don't know if time allows. If you sit here and suppose for one moment you experienced all these people here as a part of yourself, like you experience the 5 fingers of your hand. How is that possible? Well, what is this body today? Yesterday it was not your body, isn't it? It was food. Today it's become body. So something that is not you became you. How? Right now there is water, this is not you. If I drink it, does it become me? Definitely does. So what is it that I have done? I included it into the boundaries of my sensations. What is within my boundaries of sensation, I experience as myself. What is outside of my boundaries of sensation is not me. Now, the yogic system, we developed a way that if you keep your energies in a certain level of exuberance, now you will see your sensory body will expand. If your sensory body became as large as this hall and you experienced all these people as yourself, after that, do I have to tell you, love them, don't hate them, don't kill them, don't harm them, be compassionate? Would teachings be necessary for you? If you experience something as a part of yourself, after that, you don't need any morality, you don't need any ethic, you don't need any values. What is you, you will always handle it right. What is you, it is of the highest concern to you. If you experienced everyone and everything as yourself, this is what yoga means. If one is in such a state of union, then you call him a yogi. If you turn and twist your body and hang upside down, you are not a yogi, you are just doing circus. Yes, unfortunately, people think by turning and twisting they're doing yoga. No, yoga means you sat here, you experience the entire universe as yourself, not as a hallucination, but as a living experience. Not in the firmament of your mind, but existentially, you know this is you. Now, you don't need any policy, you don't need any morality, you don't need any scripture, you don't need any guidance from anywhere. You will conduct this sensibly to the best of your intelligence and capability, and that's all a human being can do.
Sadhguru. So, we have a few minutes for questions. Does anybody have… Go ahead.
My question is touching back to the point which you brought up about the belief. Can you tell a little bit more about what's the difference between belief and faith?
You're trying to gather more information.
As much as I can in 1 hour.
That is the biggest problem. You can gather as much as you want. You could go… if you gather a lot, you'll become fat. But you will not feel enhanced. The only thing that every life is seeking is to enhance itself to its fullest possible level. Whether you take a worm or an insect or a bird or a tree, all of them want to become full-fledged life. Only problem is, we know what is a full-fledged worm, we know what is a full-fledged insect, we know what is a full-fledged tree, but we don't know what is a full-fledged human being. Now you think by acquiring more and more, I don't know what information you gathered, but by acquiring more and more, you will not become more. It has not happened, isn't it? People thought by acquiring money, by acquiring wealth, by acquiring knowledge, they will become more. They have not become more, they're still hankering for the same things. So, by acquiring more information, you will not become enhanced. It is just that if you approach information sensibly, you will become more hungry. If you approach information as a way of projecting yourself as better than somebody else, then you will think you have attained to something. This is what happens by acquiring information. Only in comparison it's valuable. If you have certain level of information, you need somebody around you who doesn't know it for you to be looking smart. Yes. Today it's become a fashion. Before they go to a dinner party, they will Google out that galaxy Z67, how many million light years is it? So when you go to a dinner party, just like that casually you throw around, you know the galaxy Z67, It is, you know how many light years? This many light years. Who the hell cares? Because we don't even know in our experience what is a light year. It is only a mathematical calculation. It is not really anybody's experience. There is no human being on this planet, past or present, who's ever experienced a light year. There's no such thing. It is only a mathematic calculation to somehow come to terms with the immeasurable dimensions of the existence. We try to somehow quantify it so that it comes into our understanding, but nothing comes into our understanding. As science explores more and more, it is only getting more confounded. The only reason why science is surviving is because it's throwing out useful technologies on the side. If that was not there, science is far more confused in 100 years of exploration than it ever was before. But that's a good sign. If they had made stupid conclusions, there would be one more religion. Science is confounded today. The top physicists in the world are saying, we not only do not know, we know we will never know. This is a good sign, because this means your intelligence will remain on an explorative mode all the time, on an active mode, not in a sleep mode. So when the top scientists declare we will not know, it is not a hopeless situation, it is a great situation that people have come to this, that they understand if you go through physical means, it doesn't matter how much you explore, it'll go on endlessly. How much information you have, you will not get any better, you will get only more burdened by this. Things will happen on the side, technologies will come, iPhone will become 7, 8, 12, all right? But still, the way you talk to people is not going to change. What you say will not change. Your relationships will not change. Technology can go through the ceiling, but nothing of you will be enhanced. So, more information is not going to help. All I want you to take, the takeaway for you, because you want to take away something. The takeaway for you is, if you truly, genuinely, it's not simply a thought, allow this to sink into you in the next few days, that if you pay attention to anything, a leaf, a flower, water, people, dog, animals, anything, if you pay enough attention to anything around you, even the closest people around you, if you pay enough attention to them, you will see you don't know a damn thing about anything. On the surface, you seem to know everything, but if you pay sufficient attention, you don't know a thing about anything. Knowledge is a very limited sphere of life. Ignorance is boundless. Enjoy that.
So, in the spirit of boundless ignorance, does anyone else have any questions? Let's see, there's a lot. Maybe someone…
She has the microphone,
hey,
yeah.
You got the mic, go ahead.
Hello. Thank you very much for wonderful lecture, and you definitely very smart man. My question is…
That's the worst insult anybody has thrown at me.
He started by saying he doesn't know anything. That was his whole…
maybe this is the main sign of a smart person. So my question is that you mentioned before that just a belief without clarity is not a good thing. And I am absolutely impressed by amount of volunteers, like millions of the volunteers. I cannot even imagine how many people come for learning and not volunteering, so it's a lot. Do you think they are all driven by clarity and search for clarity? Or they believe that once they will do in the engineering, they will work on the process of gaining joy, and eventually they will have a positive story with you, or the positive story as you mentioned before. Thank you.
See, if for any human being to do something, either it should have worked for them or it should have worked for somebody around them. If you want to buy a car, either you will test drive it and see whether it works for you, or you'll ask the opinion of your friend who is driving that particular car, is this been good for you, yes or no? So I must tell you, as a rule, for the first 21 years of my existence as a teacher, as a rule, I never appeared in the media, never once. To a point where media started writing about me, he's running some kind of a secret school. Because I refused to meet the media, no advertisement, no any kind of posters, not even a brochure, only by word of mouth, millions of people came. Because once it works for somebody, they wanted to work for their family, their friends and things, that's how it happened. In the last 15 years or 16 years now, 15 actually, from 2001 is when you have heard about me all over because we're making a lot of noise in the last 15 years. Because these projects which we started as small endeavors in the local area caught on so well and they became such major projects of planting trees, education, health. We are active in 53,000 villages. So it needs enormous support, otherwise this can't be done. For a non-religious movement which doesn't offer any miracles like this, never before, as I know in the last 200, 300 years, never before a spiritual movement has caught on this kind of following, where no ticket to heaven, no miracles, no any kind of stuff, only thing I'm telling them is badgering them that you are the source of all your troubles. Nobody else but you. But millions are gathering, which is very fantastic, because I must tell you this. About 30 years ago, when I conducted programs, over 85% of the people came because of health reasons, physical, mental ailments. Today, on an average, only about 12% of the people are coming for health reasons. The rest are coming because they're seeking. They want to know, they want to experience, they want their lives to be touched in a deeper way than the way it is touched right now. This is a phenomenal change that you're seeing in the world. It's never before, I think. Only 12% are coming for health reasons, but at one time over 80% were coming for health reasons, which is a big shift.
Any other question? Maybe someone from up above there. You right there in the front, can you shout your question out?
I was wondering if physical ailments have you witnessed physical ailments be cured by, or at least helped by yoga?
Did anyone hear the question? Are physical ailments, have you experienced physical ailments being helped by yoga?
We must understand, there are two kinds of ailments. In the yogic system, we look at health issues as two ways. One is caused by external organisms, which I think modern medicine has handled in a phenomenal way. In fact, the birth of modern medicine happened mainly because of the epidemics and pandemics which were happening at the time, where it would wipe out populations. It is that which inspired people to experiment and do the things that they did. And when they found solutions, that is when suddenly the trust of the population shifted from one to another simply because they could eliminate epidemics. And these were caused by external organisms. But 70% of human ailments are on self-help. That is, they cause it to themselves in so many ways. For whatever reasons, knowingly, unknowingly, they do it to themselves. This 70% of ailments that people cause to themselves can be undone from within. But if you have an infection, you must go to the doctor. If you have pneumonia, you must immediately go to the doctor. Don't try to do yoga. Now, are there instances? We have thousands and thousands of people, I would say hundreds and thousands of people, who walked out of their ailments without ever being treated for them. We don't treat people for yoga. I must tell you this because we're in a medical institution. A bunch of doctors from United States came to our yoga center. We have a yogic hospital. So about 12 of them, largely from this Michigan area, and they came and stayed for 3 days, and on the fourth day, they were very upset and they wanted to leave. I was very busy, I couldn't meet them, and somebody came and told me, Sadhguru, all these doctors are very upset, they want to go. I said, what happened? They're just very upset that there is no yogic hospital here. You told them there is yogic hospital, they think there is no yogic hospital. Then I said, okay, let me see them. Then I saw them, they were really upset, they were angry, they felt cheated that there is no yogic hospital here. Where are the patients? Where are the uniformed nurses and doctors walking up and down? I said, see, at that time, on that day, maybe there were over 70 patients. But I said, I thought I'll put them to good use, and I was making them work in the gardens. Nobody should ever understand sickness is a reward. They must want to get out of it as quickly as possible. Right now, we're treating patients in such a way, people would want to be sick whenever they want attention. Not just that, one important part of the yogic treatment is what is called as bhuta shuddhi. This means sinking and purifying the elements within you. Water, earth, water, air, fire and space. These 5 dimensions you can work on. This is the fundamentals of yoga. So one of the most important thing is, I want them barefoot, with open hands, to work in the garden, to just get in touch with the earth, be outside, get in touch with the air, water, earth. Half the ailments are gone. Treatment is there a little bit. Rest is all just connection with the world around, because this is a composite of all these things. You remove yourself and keep yourself in a completely alien atmosphere where you're not in touch. You're 4 inches above the ground all the time. You will lose contact with what makes your life. It's the very soil which you're carrying as your body. Is it not important that it needs to be touched with its origins? No, you're looking up. No, your life happens from this planet. There are other dimensions to it, of course, but physical health and the physical nature around you are very closely related. If you don't connect them, health is an accident for most people. Today I see America probably has the highest incidence of allergies. Is that so? Am I right? High. Very high. This is mainly because they're removed from everything that's natural. They're not in touch with anything that is natural, everything is tampered with. Those who are living in the open, even in America, I'm sure they have no allergy, they have no issue of any kind, they're doing fine. I think the homeless people are the most healthy people in the end. They're enduring all kinds of, variations in weather and still managing pretty well without healthcare.
We probably have time for one more question. In the back, right there. Shout it out.
How to seek for internal peace?
How to?
How to look for internal peace?
Whoa, you just came in?
I'm sorry, was that internal peace or eternal peace?
Internal.
Internal peace.
Okay. Now, we've gone through this anyway. Whether it's peace or happiness or joy or love or whatever, it can only be internal, it can't be external. Now, there are many ways to address this. But one simple way is just this. You just have to learn where the keyboard is for this big computer of your mind. Right now you don't know where the keyboard is, you're punching it somehow, something works. No, if you know where the keyboard is, you would type out the right things, isn't it? Fundamentally, it's just that your mind is not taking instructions from you. Don't ask for peace, don't ask for joy, don't ask for love. Just you have to understand the mechanics of how this body and this mind works. And then you cause whatever you want. If you like turmoil, cause it. If you want love, cause it. If you want hate, cause it, that's up to you. But I trust you that if you are capable of causing pleasantness or unpleasantness within you, you will choose the highest form of pleasantness for yourself. I trust you on that one. Now, that it started with this 54% of doctors suffering, which is unfortunate. Doctors, all said and done, are rendering a very key aspect of service to any given society. It's very important that they are well. I would like to make this offering that the doctors who are interested in this, we would like to offer them the tools of inner engineering so that they go out as truly healthy, joyful, life which is full of vitality, that their very presence is an inspiration for health for everybody who comes in touch with them. This must happen. Otherwise, what are we talking about health? We're talking medicine. Medicine is a business. Health is an aspiration for every human being. If this fundamental aspiration is not fulfilled, you cannot lead a human being to any other aspiration. Right now there is some trouble in your body, I will talk about enlightenment. Are you interested, I'm asking? No. Your back is aching, I will talk enlightenment, you're not interested. Will my backache go? That's the only question, isn't it? Because body has this power. Unless you keep your body in such a way that you don't know whether it is here or not. This is what yoga means, that your body becomes like breeze. If you sit here, you don't know whether your body is here or not. Otherwise, if you sit here for 1.5 hours, your body says, I must go to the bathroom, your body says, I must drink, your body says, I must do something, because it is in a state of compulsive needs. If you bring it to ease on all levels, you will not know whether body is here or not. If you are in such a state, you are not even conscious whether it's here or not. You have no gender issues, you don't care whether you're a man or a woman right now. Yes? It should not matter, I'm saying. There are only two places where your gender should matter, bathrooms and bedrooms. Nowhere else.
And some people even debate that, right? Which you go to which bathroom, doesn't matter which bathroom, so just the bedroom.
Everything is under debate. But I'm saying, to move the body from compulsive needs to a place where it is like a stepping stone, not an impediment for your life. Right now, the compulsiveness of the body is making people do all kinds of things in the world. People are not able to raise to a place where they can do something other than the compulsive things that every other creature does, simply because they have not kept their body as it should be kept. This body can be upgraded to a place where it will function like an antenna which will download the cosmos. Even if that doesn't happen to you right now, the physicians of the world, at least they must become an embodiment of health and vitality. This must happen. Whatever is needed from our end, we're willing to do for Yale and U.S.A, Doolittle.
Thank you so much.
And I am Dr. Do Nothing.
So thank everybody, let's thank Sadhguru for his visit with us. Thank you so much, what a great joy, wonderful to have you.